Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. Hi, I'm Greg Nibbler, and we are, let me bring myself back there. Hello, and we are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom as we do every weekday. So thanks for being a part of this. That's what you see behind me. So if you hear some people talking or walking around, that's what they're doing. They're working on the news right now. But we are talking to you here, whether that's on the Fox 12 Oregon streaming apps or website or YouTube or wherever you're finding us. Thanks for doing so. We are now going to be talking about, though, Travel Oregon and the state of Oregon getting a very important certification, accessibility certified. And what that means is what we're going to be talking about today. It's from Wheel the World from Travel Oregon. We are now joined by Ali. Ali, hello. It is so good to have you here joining us today, to talk about this and to go through everything. And I really appreciate it. But I think to start off, would you mind just telling us just a little bit about, in case people don't know about Travel Oregon, and then also what Wheel the World is?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me on. So Travel Oregon is the also known as the Oregon Tourism Commission, and we are the state tourism board for Oregon. And we are funded by 1.5% transient lodging tax on hotel stays, short-term rentals, campgrounds, things like that. And we reinvest those dollars into communities across the state, as well as promoting tourism, giving out grant dollars, and working on big initiatives like this with companies like Wheel the World, who they are a global online travel platform for visitors with disabilities. And so they assess properties in destinations around the world so that visitors with disabilities can plan itineraries and trips with confidence.
That's amazing. So when you're talking about that, number one, that's a lot that Travel Oregon does. So we'll just talk about one aspect of it for now. But for Wheel the World, and you look at that for an organization, so you're talking about accessible options. Can we go into that just a little bit more and understand exactly what does that mean, for somebody who's going to be going out to have something that's, qualified as accessible?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. So when we talk about accessible travel, we really mean the experience of travel, where you're staying, how you're traveling, the experiences and activities that you do while you're traveling that you're able to participate in. And so in Oregon, we are an outdoor recreation paradise. And so part of this initiative was focused on accessible outdoor adventures. And so we are lucky to have such great hiking and paddling and beautiful resorts like Kanata. They're pictured, and so we wanted to make sure that those are accessible for everyone. That's in our vision, that Oregon is welcoming for all. And so we part of this includes tour operators, guides, and experiences that offer accessible options so that everybody can participate.
So yeah, bringing it out there, making it, as you mentioned, we have so many beautiful different places that people can go. But yeah, if you think about that to make sure that everybody can have access to that, that's really so important. So, and I get that part. So for the certification, how does that work? That, with Wheel the World certifying Oregon, and I believe as the first state, if I'm
Yes.
the first state certified here. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so Oregon is now the first state to be accessibility verified, which really sets us apart in the U.S. and I think globally as well. And so we've been working on this for several years, coordinated effort with our industry partners and our regional partners across the state to assess our destinations. And so now we have in each region 43 communities around the state. We have over 750 hotels, tourism businesses, guides and operators and outfitters who have been assessed and deemed accessible, or in their evaluations are on the Wheel the World website. And so what that entails is the Wheel the World team has come to Oregon and visited all of these places or businesses and assess them on the ground, on location, with physical measurements and evidence-based data that now they can say, here's what to expect when you come here. Here is what this was actually like to experience. Here's how to plan an itinerary so that you know that you'll be comfortable and welcome through the entirety of it, which is something that has been lacking in this market. And so it's really hard to plan a trip, I think, when you have a significant disability or a non-visible disability. You aren't always sure what to expect. And so this gives people that confidence and peace of mind that they'll be welcome here.
I love that. And we've done some segments on this before here on Fox 12 Now, just on some of the individual programs. I mean, we're just showing the tree climbing program right there. I
Yeah.
know that we've talked about like the over at the coast. And I think now more and more people are starting to see this over the coast, but the specific chairs with the treads on them. So somebody who's mobility impaired can go out, you can't really take a normal wheelchair out onto the sand. And this is something that they can just get access to and go experience things just like everybody else. I think it's really amazing.
Yeah, it is. That's the David's chair, and they're available
Yeah.
for rent at several locations along the coast. And you can just borrow them for a few hours of the day, and take it for yourself, or maybe you have an aging relative, and it's a great way to make sure that the whole family can participate and experience all that Oregon has to offer.
Yeah, and seeing some other options here too that people can take out for the trails, and it's just really, yeah, right there. I mean, it's just really, really cool just to have those out there, and again, so that everybody can experience that great outdoors, so those outdoor adventures, that you can have here in the Northwest. Well,
Exactly.
getting this kind of certification, which is fantastic for all of that. I'm going to ask, what is this going to do maybe for travel tourism to the state?
Yeah, so we really think that this sets up Oregon apart, certainly in the states for accessible travel, and so we see it as a really smart investment. Globally, visitors with disabilities contribute $120 billion to the economy, but we think that it'd easily be double or triple that if they truly felt welcomed and knew what to expect. And so we know that the certification is going to make Oregon be seen both regionally, nationally, and internationally as a destination where travelers can come, whether they themselves have a visible or non-visible disability, or their child does, or their husband or wife does, or any other family member, and they can come and they can stay in Oregon and they can stay longer, knowing that they'll be comfortable and welcome. So we see it as a really great opportunity and an investment, as well as just being aligning with our vision and everything that we do at Travel Oregon. We really do to be inclusive and welcoming to all. And so it really aligns with our vision, and we think it's a really smart business opportunity and investment as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of one of those win-win situations where everybody wins out in this.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no matter what it is.
And residents too. I mean, we do this, in the name of tourism for visitor experience, but everyone can use these things. And so Oregonians will benefit from this, and not even those with significant disabilities only. I mean, residents who are aging, people who might not be as sure on their feet anymore, can use a Mobi mat at the coast to walk out onto the coast feeling a little more confident. So it really can benefit everyone.
Yeah, all around. And yeah, as you mentioned, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody from out of state or out of the country that's visiting here. Oregon's big. Right. There's a lot of in-state tourism that you could do very easily and going to a lot of different places. So, wow.
Exactly.
Well, Ali, for everybody out there who wants to learn more about this and maybe about some of these options that are out there, what's the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, so visit traveloregon.com/accessible travel, and we have itineraries on there for every region of the state. And we actually hosted travelers with disabilities to try out each of those itineraries, and you can find video content of what their trips were like, inspiration for trip planning. It's all there on the website. So we hope you'll visit and enjoy.
Nice. Well, congratulations on this. I guess congratulations to all of us, but it's your part of your team's hard work to get there to where we're at, and everybody else who participates in this across the state, whether they're somebody who has a company or somebody who's up using these. I mean, it's just really cool. So thank you very much for joining us, as always, here to talk about this. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Greg. Thank you so much.
And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. going throughout the afternoon. We get to have these longer form discussions. If you have something that you think would maybe make a good longer form discussion, or something you'd like to see here, maybe there was a news story on one of our other shows and you're like, hey, I wish I could hear some more from that reporter. Well, we can get that reporter over here. We're in the newsroom. So send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. That's fox12now@kptv.com, and we can see what we can do. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining us. I'll be back soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.